Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. It's myself and Lee Judges with you today, talking all things Arsenal and catching up on things. It's been a nice weekend for me. I've been chilled out. I want to say a huge happy birthday, happy 60th birthday to my dear mum, who we've been on Centre Parks with for the weekend and enjoyed with the family. So I've had a proper chilled one. And Judges, how have you got on, mate? Nice weekend, mate?
Very, very good weekend. Yeah, happy birthday to Donna yesterday. Like, I know that you enjoyed a special day and had a good time there in where's it, Centre Parks. So
Yeah, Centre Parks, lovely. We go quite a lot, to be honest. Love it there, man. It's good for the kids, really. Like, do you know what I mean? They love it,
Do you get the bikes out and all that, like? Or are you in the
Sometimes
hotel?
we do, yeah. We didn't this time, but sometimes we do, man, because it's such good grounds around there. You get all the wildlife and all that. Do you know what, right? We picked the best weather as well, because obviously in January, you never quite know what you're going to get, do you? You know, if you're going to get snow, if you're going to get rain, but it has been so mild. I don't know what it's been like locally to you, but it has been really, it ain't been freezing cold when I've gone out. Do you know what I mean? You know, a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't go out your house without putting a coat and hat on, could you? But now, I don't know, it's just got a bit milder, and that really helps things, because we were going out and about. We were actually really enjoying sort of the out and about, and we weren't having to wrap up, you know? So it was nice, mate.
No, that's good. Friday night caught me out a little bit. Bloody got cold Friday night. But I was warmed up by a certain result that night. Like, you know what I mean? So I went up and went down to London, and I forgot, didn't I? And I was on the train. Bloody hundreds of them on there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I thought, oh, keep my head down, like, you know. And then on the way back home, you know, like, I couldn't help but just smiling, like, do you know what I mean? But they're still upbeat. They think they're going to win the league now because they've got no cup competition.
Bigger fish to fry, mate. Bigger fish
to
fry.
Actually, a few of them are saying, "No, we're going to win the league now because we ain't got Europe." You know, it's funny that, because they were saying like, "Oh, we're going to win the League Cup because we ain't got no Europe," and then they went out of that first round, and then they said, "Well, we're going to win the FA Cup now." And do you know what? Those horrible, dirty lots, and I've seen them on Twitter. Oh, Judges, Maidstone got further than Arsenal. Well, they got further than you and all you load of fucking low lives. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. The gift that keeps on giving. They do not know when to shut up. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Maidstone got further than Arsenal. Yeah, and they also got further than you. Like, you know what I mean? So there you go. So
I can't believe them. They're unbelievable. Why would you start giving it about Maidstone and Arsenal when you got Man City in the next round? That is just a stupid club, isn't it? Stupid fan base. That's what they are. But I must admit, I didn't see the game, obviously, because as I say, I was away. But I did hear that it was looking like the bogey team was going to bogey again with Man City, and it was getting to a stage where it was like, when are they going to score? Are they actually going to score at this ground? And if I'm honest with you, mate, I was quite happy that they scored towards the end, to be honest.
Right at the end, they scored. It was good and all that, like. But you know, they keep going on about Ange ball, but you got to get the ball first of all, like, you know what I mean. There's a bit of that in it. It was just such a one-sided game, and it really does sum up Spurs at this moment in time where they are, because you know, if that was last season, they would have been going mad. They'd have been going mad, like, you know what I mean? So, but because they lost that game and under Ange, it was acceptable. But last season, they would have been going mad at that performance. But listen, that's what a little bit of feel good factor does to a team. And yeah, so like he can't do no wrong, even when they don't even put in a performance against a reserve team. Now, listen, I'll tell you a few things off air, but like when I see that team sheet, I thought, oh no, Spurs are going to win this. You know what I mean? Man City looked very, very weak. Didn't put out, you know, a couple of their big guns. De Bruyne on the bench. Grealish didn't even play. Haaland out. And they still went up there and just tore them a new one, like, you know. And that is worrying for anybody going forward, Dan, as well. Like, you know, they actually made it look easy. And that is the worry for everybody else in the Premier League, because I don't think anybody else has done that to Spurs. We played them off the park last season, I know, and we did play really, really well. But they had chances against us, you know what I mean? If you remember, Ramsdale made a couple of good saves. They never got a sniff in this game, Dan. Never got a sniff. And it was a cup competition, like, you know what I mean? So, so yeah, it is a bit of a worry. But for us now, it's really now We've had a nice weekend, Dan. We ain't had to worry about nothing. You ain't watched no football. You've enjoyed yourself in Centre Park. So I've not watched no football other than Friday because once they went out, that's it. My interest in the FA Cup's gone. I don't care. You know what I mean? I won't be wasting my time no more on that. Even though, congratulations to Maidstone, a fantastic achievement.
Unreal.
Brilliant.
I like Ipswich as well.
I
They're
like
fairly
Ipswich as a
local,
club.
fairly
Go
local to
for them.
me, so I didn't really mind them going through. But when you look at that story, George Elokobi as well was at Wolves, at Cole United as well. To beat Ipswich, that is a fantastic result for them. And they've got an all right draw, Lee, as well. Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry. That is they couldn't. I know they probably wanted a Premier League side because of the story, but actually, if you look at them progressing into the next round, if they can beat Ipswich, they can beat Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry away as well.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? They might even get the next round. So listen, it's fantastic. And the FA Cup is the Magic Cup. Listen, Taylor, big up yourself, my friend. Become a new member of the channel. If you do want to become a member of the channel, then make sure you do 3 things. If you like the video, subscribe, which of course is free. And if you do want to join, then hit the join button and you can become a member as well. Judges, let's talk, man. Mikel Arteta yesterday. There's quite a lot of people talking, and I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing and reading. I literally heard nothing. As I say, I was busy with the family, and it was nice to keep away from football for a while. My phone's going off. Arteta's leaving. He's leaving at the end of the season. He's going. I'm thinking, well, that's got to be a load of rubbish, surely. Then I looked at the thing, and someone, no, look, it's here. And I'm thinking, there is no way I believe that is happening. And then it comes out today in the press conference that he was hurt by it. He's not leaving. It's all right. Fake news. It's all rumours. It's all rubbish. What do you reckon the hell that is all about, Lee? Where the hell has that come from? Is that just Barcelona trying to unsettle because Xavi's going? Is that their Barcelona just one of their news reporters just having a laugh? Is that Barcelona genuinely interested and want to try and rock the boat and see where Arteta's head's at? There's a lot of rumours about what this is, you know, and I'm not so sure because I ain't really been in the mix of it too much. But he's come out today and said it's rubbish. So what do you think?
I don't know if it's rubbish or not. Like, you know, it could be like loads of things. Could be agents like trying to push for a new contract. That happens sometimes, doesn't it? Like, you know, Barcelona could be probably feeling it out a little bit. Why would Arteta really want to leave Arsenal? If I'd be really honest, like, you know, go to Barcelona, which is like, you know, you get sacked there like a lot quicker than you would at Arsenal. I think at Arsenal he's in a position where, you know, there's no real pressure on him, or it doesn't seem to be. So I think that listen, I think that he'd be mad to leave Arsenal at this moment in time. Klopp leaving at the end of the season, that was another mad thing. What's happened there? I don't really know all the ins and outs of that, but that seems very, very mad, timing and all that. Now Van Dijk's come out today and sort of said, well, I don't know what my future holds. It just it all seems a bit mad, really. But for me, I think that you know, Arteta's got in a position at the moment where he can build a team what he wants without the pressure of the sack. You know, Barcelona, I think, like whether it be Arteta or whoever, if they're not doing the business and, you know, don't win things, then he'll be sacked. That's not the case at Arsenal. He's been allowed to build and create and do his own dynasty at this football club. So I don't see really why you'd want to leave. That is my thing, really. Where it's all come from, I don't know. And at the end of the day, I have to say, and people losing their heads over this. You know what I mean? Like if he is to leave to Barcelona, so be it. There's plenty more fish in the sea. There's other managers out there. It ain't the end of the world if he was to go to Barcelona, in my opinion. Obviously, I want him to stay at this moment in time. But listen, you know, in the next year or so, I think it's going to become precarious for Arteta either way. So we'll have to wait and see. So, but for me, I'm quite easy with the fact that I don't really believe it that he'd go to Barcelona. His family are settled over here, really, like, you know what I mean. So for me, I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, I don't see it at all. And if I'm honest, maybe this is going to sound harsh. I'm not really sure why Barcelona would want him, if I'm honest, because he ain't proved he can win anything. So I don't really know why they want him. It's very odd. Likewise, don't see why he would want to go to Barcelona. They're a mess. They can't afford anybody. They've got financial problems. They're trying their hardest, along with Real Madrid, to get this, Europa Super League, European Super League, because they know that could potentially save them financially. It's not looking good over there in terms of their quality, and everybody around them is winning other than them. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, even Girona now ahead of them in the league. Xavi, let's be real, Lee, is more of a legend at Barcelona than Arteta will ever be at Arsenal, and he's been sacked. So what does Arteta make when he goes over there? I'll be all right, mate. They sacked Xavi. They've sacked, they sacked Luis Enrique as well. Did he get sacked or did he leave? Either way, it didn't work out for him either. He played for the club. So if he thinks he's going to go over there and have it hunky-dory like he's had it at Arsenal, it ain't going to happen. I would be shocked and stunned if this was to happen. I've heard that he's looking to sign a new deal at Arsenal, not leave. That's what I've heard. Whether that's right or not, again, I don't know. But I would, if I had to put my house on him leaving in the summer or getting a new deal, it would be getting a new deal out of those two options. That's what I would be looking towards. So I'll be stunned if this is it. But what you said was really key to me, right? Because there is a lot of people that will be holding funerals if he does go, right? And I don't get it, if I'm honest, because if he does go, like he will one day, whether it's end of this season or in 20 years' time, he will go and we will carry on, And I've seen so many people, oh, he's going to sign a new deal. Oh, my God. And I think, you calm down a second. Let's just hold on a minute. This guy might not actually win something for us again this year for the 4th year running. Why are we so obsessed? They treat this geezer like their great uncle, don't they? Don't talk bad about him. This guy is going to be staying with us and we is the guy. Come on. I don't quite get that. So my question is, when he leaves, do we fold as a football club or something? Because the reaction to this man is just absolute. I've never seen anything like. I never got it with Wenger. Never saw it with George Graham. Bruce Riot was different, of course. Unai Emery, off you go. You can't even speak English. Laters, you know what I mean? And then this guy, hasn't done anything. And I think, what the hell is going on here? Like, if there was a rumour that he's leaving, fair play. I'll move on and we'll get somebody else in. Because Arsenal FC will continue and Arteta FC will be gone. And that's it. That is literally all that changes. We'll have the same players that will move into carry on the process, if you want to call it that word, with a different manager who might actually be able to get us across the line. That is all that would happen if Arteta was to leave. So I don't get this absolute chaos when there's rumours that he might go, Lee. And it just gives me a little bit of a smidgen of what might happen when this guy decides to leave, like Jurgen Klopp. I'm thinking of the fan base. I can see why Liverpool fans are gutted. Jurgen Klopp's going. He's been phenomenal for him. But people are going like, oh, he's not going. Arteta, he's not going. He's not going. Everyone's worried that he was going. Man City are worried that Arteta's leaving Arsenal. Man City couldn't give a shit, mate. They just won the treble. I just don't get it. I looked at the Twitter and I thought, what am I reading here? Arteta might be leaving and there's a meltdown. What the hell's going on? So very, very bizarrely. I don't get it, bro.
It is strange, and listen, I get that the manager is key, and of course, you look at Liverpool, you don't know really what's going to happen with Liverpool now. And listen, if Arteta was to leave, I don't think it'd be the best thing at this moment in time, because he's got all the play, all the coaching staff and everything else. It would take something new to come in, but that doesn't mean to say that new's going to be better, or what it seems to me is, everybody sort of says, Arteta's leave is going to be disaster. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be necessarily so. You know what I mean? Like, anything can happen. Like, it could get better, it could get worse. Who knows? Listen, I think it's a very, very difficult thing getting a manager these days. Liverpool, I don't really know. Everybody's sort of saying at this moment in time, it's Alonso. It's now on, because Alonso's done well at in Germany, doesn't mean to say he's going to do well at Liverpool. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean to say that because Steven Gerrard didn't do well at Aston Villa that he's not going to do well at Liverpool. They've got to make a decision. It's going to be a difficult one. And the same for Arsenal. If you'd be really honest about it, Dan, Emery's got a much, much better track record than Arteta, but out of the two, who's been more successful? You know what I mean? You'd say Arteta, so it doesn't mean anything, I mean, who knows? When Arsenal signed George Graham, on the day that George Graham signed for Arsenal, if someone had said to me, "Oh, you're going to win the championship, we're going to win the League Cup within a year, you're going to win the title within 2 years, another title," and I'd have said, "Yeah, of course, like, you know what I mean, got no chance." But it happened, you know. So you can't tell. It is what it is. I can't believe it, you know, like that people seem to just remember the good times about Arteta as well. You know, I remember the bad times as well, like, you know. And listen, at the end of it, I want him to be successful and be here for a long time, because that means Arsenal have been successful. But I'm not in this camp of loving him and whatever, like, you know what I mean. I loved Arsene Wenger, but in the end, I knew that he was done, you know what I mean? Like, and the same with George Graham. It comes to them all, you know, and it comes to us players as well, Dan. You know what I mean? I've loved players in the past and in the future, but they've all gone as well. So, you know, but what stays is Arsenal Football Club. You know, I love a football kit. You know, I like the yellow and blue kit a couple of years ago, but that's faded out now, and something else has come in. And you know what? Oh, I like the black kit now. I love that. Like, you know what I mean? So it just, you know, it will be one day that Arteta will leave, and you know, hopefully it'll be on good terms, because we've been successful, and like we'd be feeling like Liverpool do with Jurgen Klopp, because that's what you want. And I do think with Liverpool, I think Liverpool are just that little bit better than Arsenal at this moment in time over the last few years, because of the manager. The manager gives them that little bit of an edge over us, and the same with Pep. So we'll have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, Dan, I'm going to tell you that now. I went to bed last night. I didn't lose no sleep over it. I'll be honest.
No, likewise. I went to bed not knowing if there was any truth in it whatsoever. And people might think, because of the people know my opinions, that I'll be really happy. Oh my God, Arteta might go. I'm really happy. To be fair, I want Arsenal to win. I don't really care who the manager is. I don't really get attached to managers like some football fans do. I get attached to the football club, not the football manager. I wasn't attached to Wenger when he went. I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'm glad he got a good send off, and we move on. I didn't care when Emery went. I thought, yeah, he tried, but it weren't good enough. We move him on, and I won't be the same with Mikel Arteta if he ever went. You know, I just don't really understand this obsession with this guy. Every single fan that I talk to, are you into Arteta in or Arteta out? And I'm Arsenal win, mate. Like, let's just watch Arsenal win, shall we? Like, let's not worry about Arteta's process and phases. I don't give a damn about that. You know, someone in the chat said, what phase are we in now? Like, come on, man. Are we really still going on about this? Bloody, we're in phase 4 or 5 and all this crud. Like, to me, I just want to actually go out there and win a football match.
Yeah.
And look at what's going on. Like, I don't get all this, man. It's absolutely crazy, to be honest. Big up Tobes in the chat, man. Tap up Tobes. Tapping Tobes. I must admit, he's missed the first part. Go back and rewind this, Tobes. You'd like the first part of it, I reckon. Lee was having a nice little chat about your football club, mate. So big up to Tobes, man. Make sure you go subscribe, tap in Tobes. Legend that is Toby.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. But,
yeah, we love Tobes, man. We love Tobes. Tobes is cool. Tobes is one of those Spurs fans that you can actually have a genuine football debate with and a chat with. He's not one of these ones that just literally just wants to start spouting absolute nonsense, even when you try and talk some sense into him. Bless him. But there we go, man. Big up Tobes. Listen, judges, this is a big game, mate, tomorrow night.
Massive.
Because Nottingham Forest, let's be real, I don't know if it's a good or bad time to play them. They've got a lot of problems off the pitch, Nottingham Forest, at the moment. And there's some team news as far as Arsenal are concerned today off the back of the Arteta press conference, where he said that he's obviously staying. Rice and Gabriel have late fitness tests, and Thomas Partey still not quite ready to make the squad, which is a bit of a shock, because I was told that he was going to be in fit and part of the squad, but he obviously ain't ready. But they have said that he's looking like he'll probably be all right for the next game against Liverpool, which is, of course, massive. Thoughts going into this one tomorrow night, bro?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed with Partey not being at least on the bench. I'll be really honest. I thought, like, you know, when you come back into full training, you'd sort of more or less available to be in the team. You know, I noticed Maddison was training last week, and then he was on the bench for the game. You know, listen, you could tell that he was a mile off the pace and everything like that, but which would be the same with with Partey. So unless what they're doing is playing him some behind the closed doors games to get up his fitness, I don't know. But I would like to see him at least on the bench, especially if there's a doubt with Declan Rice. I think like Rice, we've been fortunate we hadn't had a game over the last 10 days, because I think if we did have a game this week, I know it would have been FA Cup against Norwich, he probably wouldn't have played in that game anyway, if I'll be honest. So I think that's done him the world of good, and I think that if he's trained, and which I think he probably has done today as well, he's come through that, I imagine that he'll be okay. And Gabriel the same. So I do expect to see Gabriel and Declan Rice in the team, and then if we let's hope that we are winning it quite comfortably, that they can come off and have a little bit of a break. I don't see it like that, if I'll be honest. Dan, for me, it's a must-win game. And we've got to win this game, and I'll be really honest with you, we've got to win this game to keep in our chances of the title, because what it does, then it goes on to the next game where we have to win against Liverpool. But I honestly think if we don't win this game now, I think we'll be looking over our shoulders at top four.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like talking about Tottenham fans and all that, like I was having a conversation with a certain Tottenham coach on the weekend. And, even though they're saying that they're out of the FA Cup now, they're out of all competitions, like, well, all the other teams around them and around them are playing in Europe. So we've got to, be wary of that, So top four, I think, is still on. Of course it is. But if we was to lose this game, I'm not saying we're not going to get it. Look, listen, if we don't win this game, the title's gone. Title's gone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it is. It just pushes it on to Sunday, and if we don't win on Sunday, then the title's gone again. But we've got to win these next two games. If Arsenal want to be in the shake-up for the title at the end of this season, they've got to win these next two games. And I think really also top four, Dan, win these two games to cement the chances of top four. Because I look at the teams around us and behind us at this moment in time, they've all got winnable games. I look at it, and I'll be honest, if Tottenham were going to Nottingham Forest tomorrow, I'd fancy Tottenham to win it. If Aston Villa were going there, I know that Villa didn't win there. I get that, but we can't afford no more slip ups, because we've had our slip ups already, Dan. We can't do it no more. So, listen, I'm nervous about tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. I do think that we'll win, but I'm very, very nervous going into this game, because the one thing I say about it, I don't really know what I'm going to get, Dan. You could go there and we could blow them away. It could be a Luton sort of performance like we had a few weeks ago, or dare I say it, a game against Fulham, which was a nightmare. So listen, I don't know what we're going to get, and I need a little bit of confidence put back into me by this Arsenal team and Mikel when we go to places like Nottingham Forest. Go there, get the job done, come home 3 points. We haven't done that in our last few games. I've been very, very disappointed with our away performances. I think the last time we won was Luton away, wasn't it? We lost to Villa, we've lost to Fulham. So we need to get winning games again. And as I say, it's not going to be easy. As you turn around and said, you don't know what team that Forest are going to have. But really, should we looking at that? No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? We've got a good enough side to take care of Forest and then go on to Liverpool. We've got the extra day again, rest. We play Tuesday, and the next game Sunday. So, it's worked out well for us, Dan, if I'll be honest.
It has. And I was talking to Sam on my channel about this. He's obviously a big Liverpool fan. And he said, look, I don't think Arsenal are out of this title race. He said, you go and beat Nottingham Forest and we draw to Chelsea, who they've got. I don't think that'll happen. I think Liverpool beat Chelsea. But let's just say that, for instance, they did. Chelsea can turn it on when they seem to want to, just not consistently enough. Let's say that's a draw. Liverpool, Chelsea's 1-1. Then it's Arsenal, Liverpool. Arsenal beat Liverpool at the Emirates. Boom. Title on. Because we're then level on points with Liverpool. That's how easy it changes, judges. Now, obviously, we've got to go and win that, and it's easier said than done. I just don't have the confidence at the moment within this season that I've seen that Arsenal are going to go and turn over Nottingham Forest easily, like some people might think. Now, we've actually been to Nottingham Forest a few times, and we failed. We went there under Wenger a few years ago and lost 4-2 in the FA Cup. 2 seasons ago, when they weren't even a Premier League side, we lost to them in the FA Cup 1-0, as you remember. We wore that white shirt that we always seem to wear in FA Cups and lost. And then last season, back end of the season, they stayed up. We lost our title race there. So we haven't had great results there. It's not been a good ground to go to. So that needs to change. The other thing I'll say is, in terms of Rice and Gabriel, not just those two players, but everybody else, like you rightly say, have had a rest now. This isn't like, they're knackered. I can see why Saka's still burnt out. Martinelli, Jesus, Erdegaard, they're all tired. I don't have any of that crap. They've had a hell of a lot of a break now. They've had old Dubai holiday, and they've had a few extra days because they got binned out the FA Cup. So there's no more excuses about he looks knackered and he needs a break and all this stuff. But having said that, I would still drop Bukayo Saka, and I would bring him on, because it gave Martinelli a bit of a kick up the backside, and his mentality was spot on against Palace. Bloody hell, if I do come on, I ain't going to be on the bench next week. I'm going to make sure I'm starting. So I better put in a good performance. And to be fair to him, although the 2 goals were easy in terms of the defence Palace had at the time crumbled, he did put them away very, very nicely, and the finishing was top drawer, right? And I think that is maybe what Bukayo Saka needs. But I don't think he's going to. And that's my next question to you. What is the team that you think you're going to see put out there tomorrow night?
This is interesting. And don't forget to watch the watch along with Albert. Albert's doing a watch along for this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so big up to Albert doing that. I think it's Martinelli was fantastic the other day, but I have to say I thought Trossard was brilliant before Martinelli came on. So it was really interesting to see what happened. I would stick with the same front three: Jesus, Trossard, and Saka, and leave Martinelli on the bench, more fresher for the Liverpool game. Whatever happens against tomorrow, Martinelli starts against Liverpool because Liverpool will play a high line, so it will suit Martinelli a little bit more. But I think that they'll play very deep against us tomorrow, so maybe Trossard plays in there, so I'm going to go for that front three there. But if Martinelli plays, then fair play to it. Probably deserves a chance after the 2 goals that he got. But don't forget Trossard scored in that game as well, Dan. Be very, very interesting in the midfield. I'm going to stick my neck out and it'll be the same midfield: Odegaard, Havertz and Rice. I think that will change for the Liverpool game. I think Jorginho will come in for the Liverpool game. I think with Jorginho, it's horses for courses. And, the back four speaks for itself at this moment in time. I thought that Zinchenko was good on against Palace, but realistically, you can't really gauge that after that Palace team were poor. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at what sort of performance we play, because it is a tough game tomorrow. No 2 ways about it. They're going to have to perform and perform well, and certain players are going to have to be at their very, very best. Saka being one of them, Dan. Saka's got to be up there, tomorrow. He's got to be at his very, very best. I don't think we've seen it too much this season, and he needs to do it. I think he's been okay, but nothing special. And I think now he's had a nice rest in Dubai. I don't think he was spectacular on Saturday, and he needs to start to perform, and hit some big numbers. And this is the thing now, that really those 3 up front then need to hit the ground running now. I don't think we're going to buy anybody in this transfer window. So it's now down onto them 3, and they've or 4. We're include Trossard in that as well, because I think they can sort of move around a little bit. But they have got to step up now. And if they don't, we're in trouble.
Facts. Listen, my team would be slightly different. I'm going to tell you the team that he's going to go with, and I'll tell you the team I would go with.
I'd be interested.
The team he's going to go with, I think, is going to be very similar. I think Raya will be in goal. It'll be White, Zinchenko, Gabriel, and Saliba. I think Gabriel will be fit enough to start. I think Declan Rice will be fit enough to start, and I think it will be Havertz and Erdegaard in there with him. And I think it will be Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli as a front 3. But I'll tell you what I would do. I would have, personally, the same back 5 that I mentioned, because Ramsdale would be my choice, but he ain't going to play, so just got to accept that one. Raya's going to play with the back 4 of White, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba. I would play Declan Rice, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Martin Erdegaard. That would be my 3 that I see in midfield. And then I would have a front 3 of Jesus on the right, Trossard false 9, and Martinelli on the left. And I would bring on Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz, and I would bring them both on together and I would have Kai Havertz as a number 9 and Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. And I would ask Martinelli and Saka to be putting in more balls to Kai Havertz as a different option. Now, you might not need to do that if you're 4-0 up, of course, but I don't think we will be. I think it's going to be quite a tight game, and I'll come on to predictions in a minute. But I just don't understand why Bukayo Saka has to start every game and Martinelli of bad form gets dropped, but Saka just keeps on playing. That for me, one, isn't fair. And two, actually, it could be a good thing if you're dropping Bukayo Saka, because what a sub to bring on. Yeah, what a sub to bring on with half hour, let's say, to go. Now, the other thing you can do is you can switch that front three round a hell of a lot more. You know, Martinelli can have a little bit out in the middle if you want, put Trossard out to the left. You know what I mean? Then switch it back round and put Trossard out to the right and put Jesus in the middle and let them interlink a bit and just confuse the hell out of the Nottingham Forest back four because they don't know where they're going then. They don't know who to mark. They're not sure where they're playing. They all might swap. And I think we should interlink our front three a hell of a lot more. That's what I would be doing. And as for Smith-Rowe, I'm just sick of Kai Havertz playing in midfield, Lee. I'm just sick of it. A lot of people thought he had a really poor game against Palace. There's some that thought he was all right. There's some that thought he did okay and he was good in glimpses. But for me, I'm sick and tired of him playing in that position. And I think we just need to accept that he's not a midfielder and he's more of a forward and start using him as a forward. And at the moment, he don't get ahead of Jesus in that position. So he comes off from the bench. So that's what I would like to see happen. However, I don't think it will be. I think it will be very, very similar to Palace. But I think Martinelli will play instead of Trossard. That's what I think will happen as the only change. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, listen, I ain't going to argue with anything you say there. Like, you know, I don't think that, if I'll be honest, that they'll drop Saka. I really don't. Is he undroppable? No, I agree with that. I think that, you know, there will come a stage if he continues to carry on the way he is that there will be questions asked, and you know, that could be where you could shoehorn Havertz in there instead of Trossard if you want to go down that route as a centre forward, like, you know. I'm with you on the Havertz thing. I think he's done okay on the game against Crystal Palace, but okay is not good enough now, Dan. It's not good enough for Saka. It's not good enough for Havertz now. It's not good enough for any of them. It's got to be more than okay. Jesus, I thought, played well on Saturday, but he needs to do more. He needs to score goals now, like, you know. So there's pressure on all of them. And the thing is with the Havertz thing, I hear what you're saying, like, you know. But I think when you're away from home, you've got to be a little bit more tighter in there than perhaps at home. So if it isn't Havertz in there, I would play Jorginho. That's what I would do and go in that pivot there. And then when we play at home, maybe, you know, listen, I wouldn't be if it carries on the way it's going, that Smith-Rowe doesn't play on the right, he'll play on the left, and Martinelli goes over to the right. You know what I mean? And something like that. I'm going to be very, very interested in his team selection and over the next couple of games, Dan. I really am, because he's got to get these right. And if Havertz is playing, he's got to perform, Dan. There's no more excuses no more for him. You know, there's no more, he's this and this is. And no, you've now had 6 months here at the football club. This is what we bought you for now, the busiest end of the season now. We're coming not into the home straight, but you know what I mean, we're getting there, and we need to put ourselves in a position where we can attack. And when we go to teams like Nottingham Forest, you've got to be one of the most pivotal players in that team, not on the like the borderline of it. You've got to be right in there. You've got to be making things happen, not on the cusp of it. And I think that's the problem that I've got with Havertz. I think that he does okay in the structure of the team, but he's on the pivotal of the game. He needs to now be the one that's making things happen and creating and scoring some goals as well, like, you know. So I think it's a massive, massive game for Havertz, this one. Like, I really do. I do think he'll start, Dan. I really do. I
don't mind him starting, but I think what I want to see from the manager now is he's shown you what he can do in midfield. So if it ain't working again, then change it. Do something about it. Yeah. Don't just go, he's doing all right, because all right ain't good enough. Yeah. And, you know, so that's what I'll say on Havertz. Rightly so, in the chat, someone said, I don't know where it's gone now, we beat Manchester City without Bukayo Saka. Great point. Great point. So it is proof that you can actually get by without Bukayo Saka. Do you know what I mean? So if he was to be dropped or come on from the bench, I wouldn't sit there going, what a disgrace. How does he expect to win a game of football without Saka on the pitch? Because he hasn't been phenomenal this season, and he has had some goals and assists, and his record looks very, very good. But you don't look at him and go, he's lit up that game. He's the reason he's dragged us across the line. He's taken us to the next level. I don't feel like that is the case. And I think there's a few people in there questioning in the chat as well. Big up the chat saying about Smith-Rowe. Doesn't really warrant a start. Doesn't really warrant. My point is, if you're going to play Havertz there, right, I would rather see a proper number 8 in Smith-Rowe playing there, or attacking 8, attacking 10, whatever you want to call it, than Kai Havertz, who just is not that type of player. He doesn't spin on the ball. He doesn't drive forward with the ball. He doesn't look, in my opinion, like he's going to shoot on goal from, or link up 1-2s to shoot on goal. Kai Havertz is something who keeps it very simple. Passes it 10 yards, passes it 15 yards, breaks up the play, passes it again, say 15 yards. That don't excite me. So if you're going to be getting a nuisance of yourself and causing the havoc that Darwin Nunez does, let's say for Liverpool, who gets a lot of slack, for me, I'd rather see him do something similar to that up top and be a nuisance that way. Try and create something for us as opposed to playing in this bloody 8 role. So that's where I'm at, really. And as for the front three I mentioned, I think Jesus played one of his best games at Arsenal on the right wing this season against Man City. I thought he was phenomenal, if I'm honest. And I think he gets a lot of stick because he don't score goals, but his work rate is superb. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus. And I thought he was brilliant. And maybe that's what we need on the right-hand side. Trossard, false 9. I like it. Some people don't. I liked it. Back end of last season, player of the month, playing false 9. Got 3 assists at Craven Cottage in the first half. Was outstanding. Brought Martinelli and Saka both into play. And likewise, Martinelli on the left, when he is in form, is one of the best in the league. And I stand by that. So that's why I'm going for those justifiable. That's to justify those decisions. But let's talk about the actual prediction of the game, mate, because I think Nottingham Forest are going to be tough to beat. I'm not predicting a high-scoring game here at all. I'm not thinking it'll be like a 4-2 or a 5-0 or a 4-0. So let me ask you what you think the score's going to be, man.
I think it's going to be a tough game. I really do. Like, you know what I mean? 1-0, 2-0. I'm just going to go 2-0 because I just think that maybe we get in front and it'll be a late second goal that will see us over the line. But I don't see it being a comfortable where you're sitting there after 20, 25 minutes saying, oh, this is a nice, easy game. I don't see it then. I think we're in for a real bite. Take your gloves and put your gloves on if you're watching it either way, TV or at the game, because you'd be very, very nervous, I think, in this game. I don't see the free-flowing Arsenal at this moment in time. Let's hope that we can do, but I think that this is a really, really difficult game. And also, I don't want to see it, but I think the players might even have their eye on Sunday, which, might be silly because it might not mean that much if you don't win this game. Bad memories of Forest. Bad memories of going to this ground in the last couple of games. Two times I've gone there, seen us lose 1-0, poor performances. The last one, the league was all done, but it was done and dusted then. They wanted it more than us. That was the thing that I took out of that game more than anything, is that, Forest wanted it more than us. Maybe that they had more reason to, because they was chasing to stay in the Premier League. They've not improved that much since then. I had a fantastic result though against Newcastle. That's why, if you're not on your game, Dan, they've got players that can expose that and cause problems for us. But for me, I think that we'll get through it. But it's not going to be an enjoyable Tuesday night, Dan. I'm sorry, it's going to be a real tough one, and we're going to come home from there going, well, that's what you got to do. You got to grind out results and get results. And you know what? When you do, sometimes that's that galvanises you as much. You know what I mean? If you've had to win in ugly, win a difficult game, put your body's on the line and things like that. And I think that's the sort of game it's going to be for us.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm going to go 1-0 to the Arsenal, like my good friend Mark in the chat who's saying he'll take that. Let's have an old school 1-0 Arsenal. That'll do me. Listen, I know what he's saying. It's got to be 3 points and we move on. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. I don't think it's going to be a great watch, if I'm honest with you. But what I will say is there's definitely an opportunity for us to make a statement. and there's definitely an opportunity for us to surprise, because I don't think there's anybody who sees Arsenal losing this game, but at the same time, I don't think there's anybody that sees Arsenal winning by 4 or 5, and it would just be nice to go and blitz a team away from home, because we've struggled to do that so far this season. Having said that, the 3 points is the most important thing, so if we get them 3 points, I'm going to be happy. But I do think there's sometimes games like this that you go walk away from and think, do you know what? I was really proud of that performance. That was outstanding football, beautiful to watch. Glimpses of the season of last season where we thought at the start of the season, wow, Arsenal, brilliant to watch. And that's what I'd love to see. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Forest will make it hard for us. I think we are going to leave with 3 points, and I pray that we are going to. But I'm just going to go 1-0 old school to the Arsenal, and I think we might find it difficult to score. I just picture it to be similar to the Crystal Palace away game, the Brentford away game this season. I see it being quite similar to that. And I think Nottingham Forest are kind of desperate for a bit of good news, in my opinion, because everything off the pitch has not gone their way of late because of the financial state they've put themselves in. So I think they're going to be trying to do everything they can for 3 points, and it's going to be difficult, man. So I'm going to go 1-0 to the Arsenal personally. Listen, guys, let's make sure we get the likes up, man. What likes are we? We're already on 70 likes. There's well over 300 of you in here, so let's make sure you smash the like button, please. Let's get that up to 100 likes, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Those two things are absolutely free, so let's go with that, please, peeps. Last few minutes, Lee, before we do come to a close, this transfer window, there's nothing to report, mate. It's absolutely dead, mate. It is dead, dead, dead. But is there any glimmer of hope that you think Arsenal might surprise last few days, last minute, and bring somebody in, whether it be someone you're excited about or someone that you think might do a job? Is anything going to happen, bruv?
I'll be very, very shocked if there is. Very shocked. I just don't think that Arsenal got the money to do anything at this moment in time. They will have in the summer. They'll have to go, unless they make a sale and all that. But the problem is, Dan, as we spoke before, you know what I mean? People ain't got the money to buy our players at this moment in time neither, like, you know. So, listen, was it £700 million spent last season? I think we haven't even got over 50 million past yet, and that's a whole lot of teams, you know what I mean? So
Crazy.
No one's doing no business and all that. I'm not really, you know what I mean, even worried about the transfer window. For me, it's all about what we've got now. We're going to go with what we've got. The last couple of seasons, it's not quite worked out for us, you know, so we'll have to wait and see. But I honestly don't think that it will matter. Like, you know, it's just, a strange one, you know, going on the Liverpool like thing now. You know, like if Mo Salah wasn't injured, he'd be available for that game now, wouldn't he? Because they're out, Egypt. So listen, we've got El Neni back for Liverpool. You know what I mean? So. We've really I think we're going to have to go with the team we've got. I think that, you know, Partey coming back I ain't going to say it, but you know what I mean, that's going to be a big boost to us. So Timber's back in training. I still don't see that happening, but you know, we get Tomiyasu hopefully comes back fit. And if he does come back, you know, he's playing games now, so he's going to be like ready to go again. So we just have to get on with it, Dan. I'll be very, very surprised if we get anybody in this transfer window. I'd be very surprised if anybody signs it. Yeah, I think like teams like Liverpool, Newcastle have come out today and said they don't look like there's going to be no business, and there's a few teams, and we're one of them. I know he didn't mention nothing about that in his press conference today, but we're waiting to see. But I'm not holding out no hope.
No, neither am I, mate. I think it's going to be pretty dead for Arsenal in terms of incomings and outgoings. I mean, maybe we might see somebody like Cedric go if someone really does want him. But at the moment, we've got problems in that area in terms of players. So he might have to stay and be cover. So it might even be him that has to stay. No one's coming in for Eddie. No one's coming in for Reece. No one's coming in for Smith-Rowe. No one's got any money. And it seems only West Ham are the team that have got a little bit of Declan Rice money, it seems, Lee, that they've had to do something. Everyone else has been absolutely like silent, haven't they? Even the Man Cities and Liverpools of this world, who some might say are happy with their squad. But I think if they actually looked at things and could get someone, they would try and make a move and try and strengthen. So it's going to be interesting. Just quickly before we do bow out, with Timber and with Thomas Partey, is it fair to say that they're two starters at Arsenal?
Yeah. I think that Thomas Partey is, whether it be right back, goalkeeper, or centre half, I don't know. Hopefully it'll be in midfield. But yeah, I think that Thomas Partey would be a starter, and I think Timber would be as well. I think I don't. necessarily see him playing like one position every week. Like he could play right back one game, then the next game left back, alternate over like that. But yeah, I do see them as two starters, and I do see a massive improvement in our team then when Partey comes back. Partey comes back fit. Partey, Rice, Odegaard would be a fantastic midfield. I really do. I just think that, you can say to Declan Rice, go and do what you want to do. You ain't got to worry about the defensive duties because you know that Thomas Partey can do that. And then Thomas Partey can be picking passes like he does from where he is. And it would, I think, also helps Odegaard as well because he's the one player that can get those passes through the lines into him quicker than anybody else. And I think it would be a massive, massive thing for us, But listen, I think that him not being available tomorrow means that the chances are that he'll be on the bench on the game against Liverpool. And listen, against City, 15 minutes from the end, it was looking like pitting out to a 0-0 draw. On come Thomas Partey and change it for us. That's what he's going to have to maybe do for the first couple of games, and then build himself up. I don't see him probably starting for a couple of games, and then obviously by the time the Champions League last 16 comes along, hopefully he can be available for that and get us into the quarterfinals and semi-finals. That's how I see it, But for the next 2 or 3 games, I'll probably see him being on the bench.
Yeah, and I think Mikel Arteta might be a little bit smarter now, and he might use Partey a little bit differently as he has the last 18 months. I really do. I don't think Partey's going to be, if you're fit, you play every game. I really don't think that we'll do that, and I think Jorginho might have to come in and play a little bit. If he plays him at right back, Lee, we'll bow out and say, I'm done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I see him playing right back and Gabriel left out or whatever, I think I might actually just go out of the ground.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be joining you, bro. I'll be joining you. Listen, I think Thomas Partey and Timber are probably starters. I think Timber's probably our left back now. I don't think Zinchenko has held down that role, in my opinion, in terms of what Timber was doing when he was fit. And likewise, Tomiyasu, I think, could be pushing Ben White at right back. Because I think as a fullback, Tomiyasu's been really good this season when fit. And Ben White's been not dodgy. He's just not been the same Ben White from last year. So I think there's definitely some competition for places there, which is what we bloody need in this Arsenal side, really, because we don't just want 11 players and then a few that might be able to do a job. We want everyone pushing for the places. And I think those are 2 players at least that we can say are good cover for our fullbacks, and Thomas Partey is 100% a starter when fit, so we need him back. I don't see anything happening in terms of the transfer window. I'm with you, mate, and I think we're going to have to wait till the summer now and see what happens. So this will be the squad that we have to try and win a title or a Champions League with, and that's going to be extremely difficult, but we'll take one game at a time. Nottingham Forest tomorrow night. Are you going, mate?
I am. I will be there. Are you going or you?
No, I'm not going this one. So I hope you enjoy it, mate. If I'm honest with you, I've been there twice and I've not enjoyed it.
No, I've not enjoyed it the last couple of times, but it's a great ground.
Unbelievable!
Yeah.
One of the best away grounds, actually.
Yeah, it is one of the best away grounds, and the Nottingham Forest fans are fantastic. You know what I mean? They really make some noise.
Really are.
Let's hope we keep them quiet and we get the 3 points and coming home. What I want to be doing tomorrow is coming home. Not talking about Nottingham Forest game in any shape or form, looking forward to the Liverpool game because we've put ourselves in a position where we can attack Liverpool. That's what is this game so important that we win this game tomorrow.
Facts. Listen, people, do us a favour. What likes are we on? Let's make sure that we're over we're not even at 100. Come on, people. 300 people in there. We need to get to 100 likes. Make sure you smash the like button before you go out. Make sure you subscribe. And if you can come and support me at Football's 12th Man and do the same thing, I'll be live tonight, 8 o'clock, Race for Europe show. You know the score. All the boys will be there talking all things Klopp, Arteta and FA Cup. And, of course, the weekend preview. Or week preview, I should say. So we will see you over there at 8 p.m. Take it easy. All the best. Up the Arsenal. Laters.
Down you go.